You know what? I will just hand it right over to you to get started, just in the interest of time.
Okay.
Recording in
Uh,
progress.
well, thank you for joining us, colleagues. Just wanted to do a quick update on an important announcement we made just 2 days ago. Was we launched the largest clean energy procurement in Ontario and Canadian history, 5,000 megawatts of energy that we're going to be securing for the people of Ontario as we build out our province and plan for tomorrow, plan for our children and our grandchildren. This is an announcement that will deliver five equivalent of power for 5 million people. It's going to be affordable. We're going to stand up against the carbon tax, which continues to be an issue that raises costs on families. And we're going to continue to make the case that we need to harness all forms of energy using an all of the above approach that continues to make sure we deliver affordable power to families. Because just a decade ago, under the Liberals, many families face skyrocketing energy rates, very expensive energy that's unacceptable for families and for our seniors. And so we've announced a plan that delivers more power because our province needs to produce at least 60% more power between now and 2050. We also are going to continue to emphasize affordability and reliability in our grid. We need to literally potentially double the grid by 2050. So we are thinking about and planning out our energy expansion today. What we're not going to do is impose expensive energy contracts on communities without their consent. So our policy requires community support resolutions, municipal support resolutions, to always ensure that communities and municipal voices that they're in the driver's seats on this decision. We're also going to protect farmland because we understand how important it is to protect our farmers and the land that grows some of the best nutritious crops in the world. So we've come up with a plan that has guardrails in place that really allows us to expand energy while protecting our farms and keeping our communities, giving our communities the say they deserve. And this is a big contrast with the Liberals who imposed energy contracts on unwilling communities. It's a contrast when they signed contracts 8 times above market rate. We're doing competitive procurements, which means we deliver roughly 30% savings for the taxpayer. So this is about affordability, it's about reliable energy, and it's about tomorrow so that our kids and our grandkids have the clean, affordable energy they deserve as we build out our energy and our province. So with that, Shannon, I'll turn it back to you. I know this would be a bit of a shorter meeting, but I'm happy to take a few questions if you have.
All right, perfect. So first I'll go to Sarah with VIP 51.
Thanks, Shannon. Hello, Minister. Thank you
Morning.
for sharing this plan with us. And now, as you said, affordability is one of the key issues that for our Ontario residents. So could you talk about a bit more about the how this plan and the new energy efficiency program, which is going to come in 2025, how this plan and this program can help families and business save their money. Thank you.
Under the Liberals, families were paying $1,000 more per year because of skyrocketing energy rates. We are delivering affordable power that is stable, that is clean, and that is reliable while we expand out our system. Under our plan, we've announced that we will oppose the carbon tax, which we scrapped provincially. We cut the gas and fuel tax by 10 cents a liter, and we're announcing a plan to produce affordable energy for Ontario families as we look to the future. So the Premier, Doug Ford, and our entire progressive conservative team is committed to making affordability our reality because we recognize that a decade ago, too many families were facing those skyrocketing rates. And I think the Liberals today will reintroduce that program because they want to bring back, they believe that their record, and when it comes to energy and the economy, was something worthy to celebrate. And any family, any senior of every community across Ontario, big town, big cities and small towns, we all felt the pinch. So we will never go back. We will never impose a carbon tax. We will stand up for affordability. And at the cornerstone of that is, yes, keeping our rates low and announcing large energy efficiency programs to put money back into people's pockets. I really believe if we could provide incentives to people to reduce their energy, they will. And our government will continue to unveil more programs over the coming year to put more money in pockets to reduce demand on peak energy and help us, grow our economy and protect the environment.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Next, I'm going to go to Alan with Fairchild Media.
Good morning, Minister Lecce.
Morning.
Will this plan focus on long-term energy affordability or reliability? So many Ontarians are currently struggling with high living costs. Can you share specific timelines or action within this plan that will help reduce energy costs for families in the short term? And how will you ensure this saving are felt directly by consumer?
So this is a plan to build out energy for the future. By 2034, we will have finalized and fully implemented our procurements to generate 5,000 store 5,000 megawatts of power, rough power for roughly 5 billion people. The direction I'm providing to the independent electricity systems operator, that's the entity that does this procurement, is affordability and price will be our driving point, not ideology, because the Liberals want us to choose expensive technology, even if it means that our families and our grandparents have to pay higher costs. That's the difference here. We are a realistic, pragmatic, affordability-focused government that keeps taxes low. We're the only government to never raise a tax. We've cut fees, we've cut taxes, we've eliminated a variety of costs on people, and we're going to keep doing that. And that includes the 10 cents a liter gas tax and fuel tax reduction that saves families hundreds of dollars every year where we believe the money belongs in your pocket. And so that's the program, that's the focus. And obviously with affordable energy as we procure it, it keeps rates down, and we may have the ability to keep reducing rates or keep stable rates because yes, we understand that under this country and certainly under the Liberals in this country, we're seeing the cost of living rise. We're seeing inflation remain high. And our premier is committed to affordability, which is why energy under our government, we really stabilized this ministry. But we're thinking about tomorrow, and we're not going to allow short-sightedness to undermine our progress. So we're thinking about how do we build for the next decade for energy. Keep in mind, nuclear energy will play a critical role. It's clean, it's emission-free, it's affordable, it's always reliable. It runs all the time, not just when the wind blows or when the sun is shining. It's a constant, and we need that reliability. On the hottest days of summer and coldest days of winter. So we're refurbishing Pickering and extending the life of that plant. We are refurbishing Darlington and building 4 small modular reactors, the first SMR of its kind in the entire G7, the first being built in Canada, happening right at Darlington. We're, of course, expanding Bruce Power, Bruce C. All of this represents roughly 10,000 megawatts of more power for 10 million people, 10 million homes, actually. So it's a big investment. We're thinking about tomorrow, and we're going to keep the focus on affordability for families.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Next, I'm going to go to Logan with the Day newspaper.
Logan.
Minister, good morning. I understand you are in a rush to go. My question will include a couple of information to ask you. So what is this IFSO? Tell me about the body. Is it private or the private sector or the government, the semi-government institution? And you said that the news release I have gone through, it says that 5,000 megawatts power will be produced. Are you going to buy, your government is going to buy the power from a private sector, or the government is going to generate the power?
Yeah.
If the government, if you are going to buy it, the government is going to function as a buy and sell, a seller. But here, please.
Oh, okay, I can explain that. So the way this works is we put out competitive procurements. Individuals, nonprofits, businesses, they can put their hand up to say, we want to build out this energy project. It could be a solar farm or windmill or biomass or a natural gas expansion or hydroelectric, whatever it may be. The business or entity will bring forth the proposal to the independent electricity systems operator, and then they'll look at the business plan to make sure it's good value for the taxpayer, good value for the ratepayer, and then a decision is made. It has to be affordable. We give additional incentives for projects that are in on Crown lands that are in Northern Ontario that are with Indigenous communities, because we want to try to incentivize energy development everywhere, not just in one community of the GTA. We need to build this out across the province. So we definitely have a vision to expand and do it with our partners in all regions of Ontario. But those projects will come to the independent electricity systems operator. They'll review them, and then they make decisions based on the competitiveness of the proposal. I'm not involved in that process. It's done independently of me to come up with the lowest price option, so we keep the rates down, keep life affordable for the people of Ontario.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Next, I'm going to go to Bill with Bracket TV.
Good morning, Minister. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
I see in your release that you wrote in your letter to the operator, you indicated that this procurement process must be transparent and make sure that everything is an open competition to secure cheap rates, and also the technology, which includes, I understand, windmills and solar energy. And what I want to ask you is that I understand they're supposed to report back to you. I mean, the independent electricity operator report back to you in 21 days by the 20th of September. And then conclude, I guess, the design by February of 26. How realistic are these dates? Are you expecting, in your educated guess, that they'll meet those deadlines?
Yeah. We telegraphed to the energy sector in January of this plan. This is the second procurement. We just finished one that allowed us to build 3,000 megawatts of battery storage so that we could harness this renewable energy when we need it. So if it's in the middle of the night and the sun's not shining, we still have to have the lights on. So we have battery, we can store the energy. So we do believe this is realistic. Actually, to be honest with you, what I'd say, Bill, is that I've asked the independent electricity systems operator to look at speeding this up. I want us to go bigger and faster. We need to move with urgency because we need more power. We have a challenge with the supply gap over the coming years because our provinces, the population is growing massively. Our industry is electrifying, meaning they're using more electricity because they're not using oil or diesel or coal to energize or to fuel their plants. And we have a lot of EVs being built and being used. So all of this is putting a strain on the grid. So we need more power. And I'm going to be coming back to the people of Ontario with a plan about massive energy expansion. But this 5,000 megawatts is a big step forward. And it's all about keeping energy rates affordable. And to your question, I'd say not only are we going to meet that deadline, I'm looking to put some more pressure on the sector to expedite it, because I think we have to move with greater speed.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so I have two more questions. I'm going to go to Rami with Oxygen Talk Show.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Minister. And I have two questions. Part one, we have seen many provinces fight to cancel or not to accept the carbon tax. I know that our Premier, Doug Ford, talked many times that he did not like this kind of burdens as we have more smart solutions like the project that you just announced, and also as government of Ontario do not like this carbon tax. So what are the possibility to be cancelled from Ontario, especially with this high cost living? This is number one. Number two, we have heard about some problems that concerned with the batteries factories. So these problems are solved, especially this kind of problems that prevent the big productions of the batteries of the cars in Ontario. Is it okay? It's over, and thank you.
So we're going to continue to stand up against the carbon tax, the federal liberal carbon tax that Bonnie Crombie wants to impose on the people of Ontario. We think this is a radical policy. I mean, I don't know any family that wants us to increase the cost of groceries and fuel and home heating. I mean, these are not luxuries. It's a necessity to be able to drive to work, to heat, put air conditioning in your home on a hot day or on a cold winter. I mean, to turn the heat on. I mean, this is crazy. It's ideological. it's out of touch. And I think most people believe this, which is why the Liberal Party of this province is, I think, is very disconnected from how working people feel, how seniors feel. So raising taxes is not a plan to save the environment. Or the only province in the country, including the federal government, who's actually going to meet our greenhouse gas reduction targets without raising taxes on people. So explain to me how we can meet our GHG targets without raising taxes. And you hear from the Liberals, you got to impose a carbon tax if you want to save the world. It's just nonsense. I believe in protecting the environment. I'm a conservationist. I'm very, I care about this. I want the next generation to have clean and a green future. But raising taxes on my grandmother's home heating bill doesn't actually help us protect the environment. It's just a tax grab. It's a revenue grab. And it's regressive. It hurts the families to just have the least flexibility or disposable income. And that's our priority, fighting against that and making clear that the provincial Liberals under Bonnie Crombie will introduce a punitive tax on families, and we can't afford it, which is why we scrapped it. It's why we're going to stand up against it at the federal level.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So this is our last question. I know we have to wrap up. So I'm just going to go to Kalasalama with My Second Home TV.
Thank you, Shannon. Minister, putting EVs on equation, what would be the estimated gap between supply and demand over the coming 5 years? Especially, you mentioned, I believe, the quantity you will be providing or trying to make available is agnostic.
So if everyone by 2050 had an EV, like the federal government, they assume everyone's going to have an electric vehicle by 2050. I'm not sure how realistic that is in this country, but but anyway, yeah, if everyone required that, we would need to double the grid, 100% increase of our current energy outputs by 2050. That's a massive undertaking. So there's a lot of pressure on, which is why, to Bill's question, we got to move quickly, swiftly, decisively. No delay, no time for bureaucracy, get the job done, procure the energy, keep it affordable, and get it out to the businesses and people that need it. So that's our approach. It's going to be very balanced, pragmatic. It's all about that affordable plan. And we're very much thinking about building this out. If we, it's like any type of investment. It's like, buying a home before the construction starts. If you get the benefit of starting early and thinking ahead, you get some savings. You get a better return on your investment. So that's what we're literally doing. Instead of these governments, like you see the last government, scrambling last minute decisions that cost a fortune, we pay the price. This is a much more sensible way of thinking for the next 25 years and building out our energy infrastructure so that it's clean, it's reliable, it's affordable.
So literally, it's not logical that everybody will be turning to EVs according to the Liberals.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't believe that's a realistic target, but time will tell. I think what the point is that we have to be ready for that green, for the EV future, and we're building out our infrastructure in Ontario. We believe in this technology. It's why we now we're the leader in the world, one of the top leaders in EV production. We're proud of that, but we need to make sure we have the energy for whatever scenario happens in the future, and we're going to be ready. Which is why 5,000 megawatts of power, clean, affordable power, is going to help us get there and bridge any gap that emerges.
One quick point.
With that, sorry, go ahead. Yes.
No problem. SMRs, how many we will be seeing very soon?
There's 4 that we're building at Darlington. The first one is on time and on budget. It's the first of its kind in Canada. They produce about 300 megawatts of power, and we're building 4 of them at Darlington. So we'll be leading the way in Canada and the G7. That project is well on track. It's on time. It's on budget. It's moving forward, and the world is watching Ontario. There's a massive amount of interest from Poland to the Czech Republic, Latvia, Estonia. Large nations around the world are turning to Ontario for their nuclear leadership to provide a clean, green, non-emitting future. And many countries who use coal, like in the United States, are looking to Canada to help displace dirty coal with emission-free energy. So it's an exciting opportunity for Ontario, for our workers, and for our economy. In fact, I'll be leaving tomorrow to go to the United Kingdom to help pitch Ontario's nuclear leadership to the world. And I'm excited about this because, as I say, the world is watching. I'll be meeting the Minister of Energy in the United Kingdom, the new government there, and making it clear that we've got SMRs that can be deployed to any part of the world. And we want to help provide energy security to any nation, particularly like-minded democratic nations who want to reduce emissions and grow their economy. With that, my friends, I say thank you for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful long weekend, and it's good to see you all. And thank you again, Shannon, for doing this.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I will send the recording out shortly. Take care.